What's going on, folks? We finally got hold of Bobbit, so we're all good. As you can see here, today's episode is all about me, thanks to the lovely foul-mouthed Bobbit here, wanting to thank me for all the help I've given him.
Lovely.
So, thank you, Sir Bobbit, for thanking me.
It's the least I can do for you.
It's very much appreciated. Absolutely, for sure. Get this tweeted out.
You could have easily told. You could have easily told me 3 months ago that you didn't want to do it, and I'd be doing this by myself, and it'd be pre-recorded. So, you're the biggest help on the show.
We always try to help out everybody that we actually care about. So
Hashtag fuck me, I guess. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, man. You're good.
You had your episode on Memorial Day. Shut it over there.
Shut it over there.
That's what he said. So, as you saw on the title screen, the 3 movies we're going to be talking about today are The Goonies, The Nightmare Before Christmas, because, you know, you couldn't guess I'm a fan of that at all, could you? And Little Shop of Horrors. What movie do you want to start with, Bobbit?
It's your thing. You choose it.
Okay, then, I guess we'll go with The Killer Plant first and talk about Little Shop of Horrors. Now, the one you probably know better is the one with Rick Moranis, Steve Martin, Bill Murray.
Yep.
That's probably, that, when it comes to remaking movies, that one they did right. In my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I watched the original one and I had trouble getting through it. It actually bored me a bit. But, definitely they did very, very good with the remake for Little Shop of Horrors in the 80s. My favorite part of that movie is when the plant actually starts to talk. And it's why I always reference, whenever somebody says I'm hungry or something like that, I always sit there and reference, feed me.
I'm hungry.
No, he didn't say that.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Feed me, Seymour. So, that's definitely one of my favorite scenes of the entire movie. I also love that how the characters were portrayed. You had Audrey too, just a complete bimbo all the way around.
Yeah.
And really, before this point, we didn't really see Steve Martin in any other role other than the kind of naive character.
If I'm not mistaken, Heather, didn't that movie come out before Three Amigos did?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Which, that is another one of my favorite movies, but it's not one I talk about frequently.
Because
Um,
a lot of people know them from Three Amigos.
yes. Well, it's because Little Shop of Horrors didn't really get the following it deserved when it first came out.
Who did 3 Amigos? Steve Martin?
Steve Martin, Martin Short,
Nice.
and... No. Martin Short and Chevy Chase.
Well, the 3 Amigos.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about Little Shop of Horrors.
That's what we are, but you asked me who did Three Amigos. Little Shop
I
of
know
Horrors
who did.
was Steve Martin, Rick Moranis, Bill Murray.
That wasn't my question. It's alright, go on. It's alright. That wasn't my question, though.
You asked me who was in...
No, I know who was in 3 Amigos. I know exactly who was in 3 Amigos. I was asking if you were talking about Steve Martin because he was in 3 Amigos.
No.
Okay.
No, he played the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay.
The sadistic dentist who actually thrived on causing extreme pain on every one of his patients. Until Bill Murray walks in. That scene, oh dear Lord. That's definitely something that was perfect for Bill Murray.
Mm.
And did you know in the original one, that scene was actually given to Jack Nicholson?
Really?
Yes. That's like one of his first movies.
Hmm.
So if you go back and watch the original, you're going to see a very, very young Jack Nicholson.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that was his first movie. It was a Little Shop of Horrors. I'm talking about the one in the 80s. What?
Yeah, the original one was late 60s, early 70s? No, sorry. Had to have been mid 60s because it was still black and white. Anyway. Bill Murray basically plays his own little sick and twisted character who gets off on pain. So, naturally, that scene between him and Steve Martin is absolutely glorious. And then from there... From there, I mean, throughout the movie, we find out that Rick Moranis is the quiet, shy guy who thinks he can never get the good girl. And of course, we find out that the girl is in an abusive relationship with the dentist because he's a professional. So, of course, she thinks that's the only way out of Skid Row. Go figure. But in the end, quiet, shy guy ends up being the hero because he actually ends up killing the dentist to feed him to the strange and unusual plant he's been taking care of, which has been slowly growing because he's been feeding it his own blood.
Here's a fun fact for you.
Sure.
They probably didn't know. Did you know during the feed me part, the feed me scene, Steve Martin actually got an injury from it?
Really?
Yep. Like the Audrey from the movie said that Martin had previously tried opening up the door by hand, only to have the glass unexpectedly shattered, cutting his palm.
Ooh. That is strange. Yeah, there were, even if you look through the bloopers on the DVD you can get in that movie now, there are a few strange things going on the scenes. A lot of people attribute it to Jim Henson.
Here's another fun fact for you, Miss Heather, that you probably didn't know.
Sure.
Bill Murray's dialogue was improvised.
That I actually had a feeling that was the case.
Anything he did was improvised.
Anyway.
I'll shut up.
Yeah, when it came down to how that entire scene was played out, it felt way too organic for it to have not been improvised. What are your favorite parts?
Oh, good Lord! I haven't seen that movie in over a decade.
Well, as soon as I found it on the DVD, I bought it and I watched the DVD every fucking day. So that's how much I love this movie.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get the Blu-ray of it for a while now. Yeesh. From the little I can remember of it, it has to be Bill freaking Murray. Like, that dude, stole that scene.
Yes, absolutely. I love the song Steve Martin did. for the dentistry thing.
Yes.
That was fucking awesome. And for those of you who didn't know, yes, Little Shop of Horrors is indeed a musical. Other than that, there's really nothing else I can say about the movie other than it's one of the greatest movies I've watched from the 80s.
Yeah, and it further solidified Bill Murray as like one of the greatest actors of all time.
Yeah, you have that. You have, what about Bob? You had Stripes, Ghostbusters, Caddyshack. His part was so small in that movie, but yet he solidified himself in that movie.
Hell, his freaking cameo in Zombieland was perfect.
Yeah. So, moving on to the next movie, I'm actually going to go with The Nightmare Before Christmas next.
Alright.
Yes, I've devoted part of my body to that movie, but I like the Goonies a little bit more, so I want to save the Goonies for last.
That's surprising.
I know. With The Nightmare Before Christmas, that was definitely one of the movies that basically told me never be afraid to actually be yourself. Don't try and change it up to impress other people.
Mm.
What the fuck?
My brother cleaning out the grill.
I was going to say, what is he beating Hayden out there?
I'm like, good God, is he jerking it that damn hard?
Oh,
Oh, dear Lord.
he's getting that coals out of the bottom of the grill.
With that movie, we have a cast of characters from a holiday town in the holiday forest. Little Halloween town with its creepy critters and its ghouly characters. It's one of the weirdest films to have come out of Tim Burton's strange little mind, while at the same time being the most entertaining for stop motion animation.
And not only that, but like, when you watch the movie, you can't even tell it's a Disney film.
Exactly. Because it's got that dark, dank feeling. You know, the dialogue isn't all peppy and happy. It's in and of its own right. It's a Tim Burton film. It's not a Disney film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's the way Tim Burton has been with every single one of his movies. And believe it or not, my favorite character in that entire movie, despite having Sally, Jack, Dr. Finkelstein, and the kids, well, 2 of the kids on my arm, and Zero, of course, my favorite character is actually the hanging tree.
Really?
Yes. And it's actually because of the video game, Oogie Boogie's Revenge. Yes. I actually adore the hanging tree because of the video game. What's one of your favorite characters from the movie?
Oh, it has to be Jack and his wife.
Sally?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't get something.
What?
Okay, the unofficial sequel to that movie is Corpse Bride, right?
Unofficially, yes.
Is that technically a Disney film too, or is that a whole different thing?
I don't think it's a Disney movie, is it?
It was created by Tim Burton, but I think it was under DreamWorks rather than Disney. Let me take a look here.
That's weird.
British American stop motion animation musical. They have it listed here under IMDb.
That's just the company that rates movies. Warner Brothers. Go back up. Yeah, Warner. It's a
Yep.
Warner Brothers movie. Jesus Christ.
We got fireworks going off over here, people. It's a Warner Brothers film. Which makes me wonder. No, because Nightmare Before Christmas was definitely Disney, because a coworker of mine has a whole bunch of stuff that's Nightmare Before Christmas that she got and continues to get every year she goes to Disney.
Pardon me.
So, in a lot of ways, you could look at several different things. You could sit there and even say Frankenweenie is tied in with Nightmare Before Christmas. You could say that that's a young Jack. So,
what was your reaction when you saw Nightmare Before Christmas and Kingdom Hearts, the original?
I flipped my shit, dude. We got to Halloween. I'm in the gummy ship and we're flying away, and all of a sudden we pull up and I see the giant pumpkin and it's just like, Now, needless to say, that's always my favorite level, and that's always after I beat the game. That's always the level I go back to get all the Trinity marks and make sure I got all of the Dalmatian puppies. That's always the first one I go to. I saved the fucking whale for last. Maestro. I fucking hate that stage. Trying to find all the Trinity marks in that goddamn psychedelic acid drop thing? No. It's not fun. Especially since in there you have the blue and the white Trinities, and it's like there's blue, white, pink, and green everywhere. Where the fuck am I supposed to find all this shit? So, but definitely, Oogie Boogie is another one of my favorite characters, but then again, I'm weird in the fact that I like villains. Like, Maleficent is my favorite Disney villain.
Mine's Zurg from Toy Story.
Okay. And Maleficent was always my favorite. I mean, before the Angelina Jolie movie of the behind the scenes and the actual story of her, quote unquote.
Fun fact: I took my ex-girlfriend to that movie. We broke up a week later.
Not surprised.
Who knew?
Yeah. With Nightmare Before Christmas, you have so many different characters, and the fact that the opening song to that movie actually introduces you to every one of the characters in one way or another. I mean, you had the mayor, you had Zombie Boy, Clown with the Tearaway Face. You rarely saw that with any animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the fact that Tim Burton was allowed to go as dark as he went with that, especially with the Oogie Boogie scenes. I mean, that was really ballsy on Disney's part. And not to mention, on top of that, you also had an intricate father-daughter story being told between Dr. Finkelstein and Sally. I always loved when she sat there and actually tore her stitches out so that she could have like an arm or some leg left behind to be a little decoy. But My favorite part of that movie was actually this scene where Lock, Shock, and Barrel go to kidnap Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah. That's mine, too. I forgot about that part.
Oh my god. Yes, the whole thing with Jack within the winter wonderland of Christmas Town. And seeing all these elves and misconstruing what everything is that's going on. And not actually understanding it because he's never been part of that world. He's never been part of the happy, everybody loves each other world. He's from the world where you have to be able to scare somebody in order to love them. So, even with that going on, and that I love that song. I love the "What Is This" song. And I also love Fall Out Boy's version of it that they did for the anniversary album for the soundtrack.
I don't know that they did a version of that too.
I believe it was them. But I hated Fiona Apple's versions of Sally's song. And yes, she's an actress, but she's an actress who can fucking sing. I felt Helena Bonham Carter should have been the one to do that song for the album. Hey, for those of you that only know her as Bellatrix Lestrange, go and watch Sweeney Todd, the Butcher Barber of Bag Street. You need to go
watch another movie that we cover.
Oh, that movie was fucking amazing. I love the song. The Try a Little Priest. That's my favorite song in that whole movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's looking up weird facts for me now.
Who, JP?
No, you.
Yeah, well, trying to anyway.
How you doing, Trek? Hi, Wise Society. We really don't care about that person in this chat, so whatever. I mean, he's got me blocked too. He's got Bobbit blocked, I'm sure.
Ooh.
I'm not saying it out loud.
Yeah. Try not to mention him, Wise Society. Because once you mention him, he knows, and then he'll fucking jump in here, and he'll be
causing problems as usual.
Even though this stream has nothing to do with drama.
And I agree with you, Wise Society. Tim Burton movies have always been dark, and it's always been a different kind of story told to children so that they can see that the world is not always happy.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is pretty happy.
It was dark, though.
Oh, of course it was. Well, the original was dark.
The book was even darker.
Fine.
Which actually, Tim Burton's version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was closer to the book.
Because the book was actually called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Not only that, the story being told with what characters were with who.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting.
Version. What's up, Bobbit?
Did you know Nightmare Before Christmas wasn't directed by Tim Burton?
He produced it.
Yeah, he was the producer for it.
Yeah, he was working on Batman Returns at the time.
Yep. That's why Batman Returns is my second favorite Batman movie.
So, fun fact for anybody who didn't know that, especially me.
Yeah. Tim Burton definitely has the mind for strange and exhilarating and just unusual messages to begin with his movies and stuff like that, which it makes him a great producer, it makes him a great writer, it makes him a great director. Because he's not afraid to try different things.
And here's another fun fact. Have you seen Coraline?
I've seen parts of it. I've not seen the whole thing yet.
Well, apparently Jack Skellington's in the movie.
I've heard that, yes. I've heard he makes a quick appearance. But it's like I said, most Tim Burton movies are like the Marvel movies. They're all connected in one weird way or another with the universe. And Cody, you actually said that backwards. It's Corpse Bride, not Bride's Corpse. Just saying, dude.
Here's another one.
Sure.
Interesting thing. Disney wanted Jack to have eyes.
Yeah, originally. But it's like he's a skeleton.
Skeleton. Sorry.
They don't have eyes.
They can't be long.
Oh man, that would be cool. Vincent Price was almost Santa Claus.
Oh, that would have been cool, yeah. But another scene I loved in that movie was when, after they created Christmas in the Halloween way, and Jack delivers all the presents on Christmas Eve, and the kids open it up, it's the parents reacting more to the presents rather than the kids. Remember with the one kid that the parents sit there, "What'd you get, sweetie?" He turns around and holds up a shrunken head, and the parents are the ones that are screaming. It's like, this is backwards.
What did the kid have like a weird look on his
The
face?
kid was just like, "What? This isn't what I asked for." That was it. This is not my toy. This is not what I wrote to Santa for.
I got the head in the box. For the low price of $99.99, you can have your own head in a box.
Dick in a box.
Head in the box.
I'm kidding.
So, that's some of my favorite things with Nightmare Before Christmas. What about you, Bobbit?
Oh, here's what I haven't seen in 10 years. Well, yeah, like I said, my favorite scene was the Santa Claus one, and I'm also an Oogie Boogie fan as well.
I love the roulette scene at the end when they're trying to save Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I love that they incorporated that in the game.
I just like the whole movie. Like, if you haven't seen the movie, for the love of God, go and check it out. It's so amazing.
He's going to get used to watching it a lot because I will be forcing our kid to sit down and watch it.
You come by Blu-ray and be like, "You gotta watch this now."
I mean, I will be a little bit of a hypocrite, but it's only because it's Nightmare Before Christmas. You're sitting your ass down and we're watching this.
At the end, I want you to tell me, scene for scene, what happened.
There will be a test, damn it. The kid's gonna be fucked up as soon as it comes out anyway between the two of us. Hi, Paige. How you doing? And
Poor
finally,
kid
we
has
move
no
on
idea.
to... Sorry, Bubba, what was that?
I was saying, that poor kid has no idea.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, between our tempers and our weirdness alone, this kid has no chance. So, now moving on to the final movie, The Goonies. This one is...
Guys!
Exactly. This is a movie... Ah! Awesome, Paige. Okay. This is a movie that taught every kid to not be afraid to go out and have an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And it also taught them, don't be afraid to stand up to an adult when you think it's something wrong. Like the rich people trying to steal the poor people's entire town for a golf course. Um, you had the compelling story between younger and older brother that, yes, they fought all the time. However, they still deeply cared for each other. And at the end of the movie, it really showed, you know, the bond of not only friendship but family.
And like watching the Goonies later on as an adult, I always thought that One-Eyed Willie was a penis joke.
In a way, it was, actually. In a way, when they wrote this movie, they kind of just did that as a joke for the adults, and then at the end actually had a one-eyed Willie. So, this town that this movie was based upon is actually a real-life place, too.
Yeah, like somebody on YouTube actually went to the actual town and filmed it.
It's near Seattle.
Yeah. And my cousin actually went there on a little trip that was actually part of her internship with Disney.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she had that lifetime experience, and I told her I'm ever going to be fucking jealous of you for this. And as Cody said in the chat, do the truffle shovel. That's the scene that really introduced us to who Chunk really was. Other than the kid with the strawberry milkshake in his face at the pizza shop.
And here's a fun fact for all of you. That truffle shuffle was the idea behind the bobs.
There you go. Little Bobbit fun fact for you.
Mm-hmm.
One of the funniest scenes within the movie was Mouth being the translator. That's where all the... When we get to the attic, that's where all the sex toys are. This is always separate your drugs. If you do badly, you'll be locked in this closet with the cockroaches. And then, of course, with the statue. Where they knock it over.
Oh, yeah.
They all thought they were in trouble because they thought the mom noticed the statue. No, it's the pile of broken chips on the table. And this was the movie that actually introduced me to Cyndi Lauper's music.
Yeah, same here.
Even the fact that I am a huge wrestling fan and was a huge Captain Lou Albano fan. I really did not get into Cyndi Lauper's music until the Goonies. Because she was credited as saying that she was the niece of Captain Lou Albano. And there were plenty of times where she was at either WrestleMania or some wrestling event with him and whoever he was managing at the time. So... And I love that in the music video for the Goonies, they actually put her in the scene and treated her like they treated the Fratelli brothers. Stuck on the tree log with the rising water. And for a little fun fact for those who did not know, the guy who played Sloth was actually a player for the Raiders.
Oh.
Yeah. A little warm over there for you, bud?
Maybe. I'm feeling like a California girl.
That's fine. Trucker PD, you still made it here. That's it. Perk the girls up. Perk them up. There we go.
Yeah. Gotta make sure the boobs are in place.
Exactly. So I can't show off mine, so you might as well show off yours.
Fuck it. Where's my beads? I need the beads.
You would get more beads than me at Mardi Gras, that's for sure. Ugh. Now, with this movie, we also... This is the first instance, I believe, that we get introduced to Hollywood's most famous star today out of this movie, Josh Brolin. I believe this was his first movie that I know of. So I think he did pretty good for his first time out. Especially with somebody like Corey Feldman.
You know, especially like, you know, what he's become now.
Yeah, I mean, he's Marvel's biggest asset right now.
Yeah, he's also Marvel's biggest badass, too.
Absolutely. I mean, and the fact that he's well into his 50s, almost his 60s.
Really?
Doing this. I believe so, yes.
He doesn't look that old at all. I thought he was in his 30s.
No. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me again.
Yeah, you're right. He's 50.
See?
Damn.
Because remember, when he did the Goonies, he was already at least close to his 20s. If not already in his 20s. No, he had to have been in his 20s because the Goonies was 30... It was in 85, so it's 33 years ago. The Goonies was made. Yes, he did, Cody. Uh-huh. Actually, it wasn't Young K. He played his own character within Men in Black 3. As I remember it. But, this movie... And I tell you something. Some of these people that were in this movie were actually pretty big actors beforehand. But I had never noticed them before. As soon as I saw the Fratelli brother that did all the singing, and it was Young K. Okay, thank you, Trackpedia. In the Goonies, I saw him popping up everywhere. So that was... I mean, I reckon... I've seen her, I've seen Mama Fratelli in other movies before that. And she's always been that tough, battle-worn bitch. For lack of a better term to put for her. But she did amazing in that movie for her age at that time as well. The woman who played... I believe you're right, Track. I believe that was Robert Davi. What was
the... He was in the movie.
Huh?
Robert Davi was one of the Fratelli brothers. So was, God, I can't think of his fucking name.
Yeah, the one I was mentioning was the one that did all the Italian singing, which is Robert Davi.
No, the shorter guy?
No, he was the taller of the two.
I know that, but the shorter guy is a famous actor too, and I can't fucking remember his fucking
Yeah, but
name.
I'm saying that's why Track was bringing it up, because I was mentioning the one that was doing the singing. Because before, that's it, yeah. But, because I said before, Robert Davi was a big actor even before the Goonies, but I had never noticed him really. After the Goonies, I noticed him popping up everywhere. What was the mother's real name? Again, I can never...
It's not even the mother. The other brother he's a famous fucking actor.
So was she. We got Wikipedia on it.
And Bobbit.
And Bob.
Anne Ramsey was Mama Fratelli.
There we go.
Who was the other? I'm asking you who the other brother was besides Robert Davey.
Joe
Joe
Pantoliano.
Pantoliano. That's
Yes.
who he is. Yeah, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
But again, before this movie, I never really paid attention to them. But then, except for her, Anne Ramsey, I've seen in quite a few other movies. But the two brothers, I never really saw them until after I saw this movie, and then all of a sudden as I got older, started watching other movies from back in the day before '85. Oh, and that's when I sat there and was like, wait a second. These dudes were in the Goonies. And I will say this, to see Robert Davey in a more recent role as a good guy, let alone a cop. Maureen O'Hara. Yes. Maureen O'Hara was the mom's name. She was 95 years old when she died. Holy crap. Like I said, she was a tough old bitch. And it's definitely one of those things where it's like you never really notice something until you've actually
Seen it?
yeah. And Trek, it was actually Anne Ramsey that was in the movie. Bobbit had it right.
Thank you, tater salad. But yeah, like, Sloth reminds me of Trekster because they're both Superman fans.
Right. She died not too long after the movie was made.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she died August 11th, 1988.
Wow, just, what, 3 years? 2 years?
Yeah. That's one thing I wanted to actually bring up, Trek. After years of not seeing the movie, and then all of a sudden HBO started playing it again, I'm sitting there wondering why this movie is ending so soon. There's another scene in this movie that I remember from my childhood. And that's the giant octopus. That scene has been forever removed.
Why?
I don't know why. There's been no legitimate answer that I could find.
What was it? Did they kill the octopus or something?
Well, the octopus got buried by the rocks tumbling down as the ship released. I doubt it.
It was cruelty to fucking animals.
And they still show animals dying in movies today.
I know, but it's fucking retarded. That's what it was, though. I can almost guarantee it.
I'll look it up.
Thank you, Bobbit.
You're welcome.
No problem, Trek. We'll see you back in a minute.
Thanks for the warning.
But yeah, that scene's been forever removed. However, it's still kept in the dialogue. Yeah. Because at the end, Data himself sits there and says, you hear him. Everybody's talking over each other, and then you hear Data say, and then there's this giant octopus. And you hear Chunk then starting to talk in the Fratellis, and that's when the sheriff steps in. And he sits there, yeah, Clarence, Lawrence, it's fine. We all know your stories. And then all of a sudden, One-Eyed Willie's ship comes out into view. Now also, at the end of this movie, after the credits roll, you see the giant octopus swimming off after the ship. As I remember it from a child.
Huh. The octopus scene did not appear in either the theatrical release or when the film was released on VHS. The only time the scene was shown was on the Disney Channel.
So, and since then it's been removed. We don't know why, and they kept it in the dialogue too. Can you give me one of the nail clippers? Please?
Distracted.
Too bad. Thank you. I've not been able to find a legitimate reason why they removed it from the movie. But keep it in the dialogue. Because then you sit there and you make the kids look like a liar. After going through this whole movie of making them seem courageous, honest, trustworthy, brave kids that actually stood up to the bad guys and saved their homes. So I never understood that. That was one thing that always pissed me off. Make sure your brother's not eating our pizza.
No, he's making ribs. Why would he eat our pizza?
Well, apparently, on the home release, the feature ones, that deleted scenes on the DVD as like a bonus feature.
Yeah, but they never mentioned why they took it out.
I know, that's what I'm trying to figure out, and I'm not finding anything on it.
It's weird. And to answer your question, Trek, no, I've actually seen them fighting the octopus within the movie.
Yeah, like, the deleted scenes on YouTube, you can watch it right now. It's just trying to figure out why it was cut from the movie.
Exactly. Especially if they're going to play it on the Disney Channel to begin with.
Yeah, no. Like, why would it be okay for that and not for the other thing?
Especially, I understand that, you know, well, it's our movie, we can do with it what we want. But you're kind of proving that you're not putting out the full product when you do that. So it's one of those things. It's like, okay, but you're contradicting yourself here. And of course, I may still end up eventually getting Goonies Never Say Die with like some semblance of a map tattooed on me somewhere. Eventually, one day we'll see.
Make that your tattoo since you hit 200 subs.
Well, that's actually JP. Since 200 subs has been hit, you get a tattoo.
Remember, folks, once I hit 200, I'll have a tattoo of JP's face on my back.
Oh, dear Lord, Bobbit.
Damn fucking cocksucker. Fucking extra.
He sucks at baseball.
I do.
No problem, Trek. You don't need to explain. But with the Goonies, of course, my favorite scene is actually when they get to the plumbing area through the network of tunnels they're going, and Mal sits there and tells everybody, just shut up and listen for a second. Just start banging on the pipes. Maybe somebody will hear us. And they do. And of course, it's the whole plumbing system for the bad guys' country club. And of course, with them banging the pipes and causing all that havoc, things start going wrong within the country club. And then Troy, the teenage bad guy, gets shot off of his toilet by a stream of water as his pants are down around his ankles. And we see the true meaning of what he's like in the fact that he sits there and screams for his daddy. Do you have any favorite scenes from that?
Oh boy, there's a. I like I can't just choose one particular scene. I love the whole movie. Of course, you know I love Chunk because Chunk reminds me of me.
Of course.
Because here's a fun fact: when I was a kid, I was exactly like Chunk.
Mm-hmm. Trek, are you talking about when they went to the Lighthouse Cafe, following the Fratellis, basically, without realizing they were following the Fratellis? Because I can tell you, he sat there and was like, "Oh God, soda! Yes, I'm so thirsty," and goes over to the cooler, opens the lid, and nuts, and slams the top down, and that's when he finds the Jeep with the bullet holes in the back of it. Yes. And a little fun fact for you guys, also, from my past here, I actually dated a guy who had his name within the movie.
Chunk?
Nope.
Oh.
I dated a guy named Mackenzie. And for those of you who don't remember the scene, it's when the Fratellis actually catch up to them just before the bone organ. And they fire the gun off, and you hear Mikey sit there and go, "Holy Mackenzie!" So. So with that, I gotta tell you something. I would love a replica, just picture of that bone organ too. That, to me, that was beautiful. But again, I'm weird, so.
Didn't they have to play like certain keys?
Yep. Yeah, Andy had to get up and play certain notes that were on the back of the map.
You know, because she knew how to play the piano.
She was the only one who took lessons when she was 4 years old. No, I'm sorry, she was 5. And if you played the wrong note, the floor fell out from underneath of you. If you played too many notes wrong, the entire organ fell out of the sky.
Shit.
And I love the Rube Goldberg machine they had in the movie for one of the booby traps.
See, I think Trickster and Sloth are the same person. I see Trickster yelling, "Hey, you guys!" just randomly.
The whole problem is he's not related to the Coneheads, though.
Oh yeah.
As you remember.
Yeah.
Which I could go on and on and on about several different movies that I absolutely loved, but those are my top 3. Oh my god. Yes, Trek. Baby Ruth became the most famous candy between Caddyshack and the Goonies.
Yeah.
The only other candy to beat it, and which I have a fun fact for it, is Reese's Pieces from E.T.
Yes. It was actually supposed to be M&M's.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which we will cover E.T. in a future episode.
Absolutely, definitely. Looking forward to that. I definitely need to watch it again to pick up on the different nuances once more. But that E.T. is a movie I could sit there and watch like a million times. You know, we should sit there and figure out a night to sit there and just pick each other's brains and try and do like a long episode of like several different decades of movies that we love.
Yes.
Because I myself being are your mother and your brother? Because I myself, I was raised in a house where we had music, television, movies, and playtime.
Oh yeah, same here.
And with the music, and the fun part about my childhood growing up, especially around Halloween, which is why I love it so much, is my dad would actually, because he had an old AM radio, he would actually sit there and find, on Halloween night, the old-fashioned horror stories being told on the radio, on AM radio. And we would sit there and just listen to it. Nothing else going on in the house, no TV on, just the lights on, sitting on the couch, eating dinner, and listening to the old horror stories actually being told over the radio, like War of the Worlds being told over the radio back in the day.
Well, see, like for me, Grandma fucking loved Halloween. She loved Halloween as much as she did Christmas.
Right.
Well, like, she was fruity when it came to it. Like, I remember we used to dress up her house like a haunted house, and oh, I miss that so fucking much. And every Halloween we would find like horror movies. Like we'd like watch AMC and shit like that for like Halloween, Chucky, Jason, all that stuff. That was our annual a tradition.
Well, with me, I could go back with movies. I could go. One of my favorite oldest movies was, in fact, The Ghost of Mrs. Muir, which was basically curator of a lighthouse that's actually dead and is actually a ghost, puts an ad in the newspaper for somebody to come and write his biography for him, his life story. And Mrs. Muir pops up. And she's the one who writes the biography for him, and it's not until the end of the movie that she finds out he's dead. That she's actually been talking to a ghost for the whole time.
What movie is this?
The Ghost of Mrs. Muir. It's an old black and white movie. I mean, so I could go back with movies. And it's like I've mentioned before with my Tattooed Mistress channel and the one episode of horror movies. Nosferatu is my favorite vampire movie because it's the one that started it all.
I cannot wait for the Halloween episode. That's going to be awesome.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I could talk about Halloween movies for like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this one last thing. I don't know why, but for some weird reason, Grandma put it on a weird ass channel, and it was horror movies presented by Flavor Flav.
Oh God.
I'm like, what the hell?
Did she ever put on the 13 Nights with Elvira?
Yes. Yes.
That was some of my favorites because they were so cheesy that it was great.
All of that, but Elvira was fucking smoking.
She still is too.
Yeah, big boobies.
That were real.
I would have loved to have seen them.
Well, you can. She did pose nude.
She did.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whoa, you fucking did it again, Tyler. Wow.
Yeah, I thought you knew that.
Uh-uh.
He's playing the show 2K18 and he keeps losing the bat.
That fucking bat is... That bat's going in the stands.
I guess JP's gonna be looking up those pictures later.
Well, actually, I'm being a good girlfriend and I'm looking it up for him.
Okay, cool.
Come on. Thank you.
Is the cheese pizza ready yet?
I thought you were having ribs. You don't need any fucking pizza. You can have it tomorrow. You don't.
I found the one where she's kind of censoring herself.
Trust me, go on Google. I found
I am
them.
on Google.
Is your safe search on or off?
I will find out in 1 sec. It should be off because of things I search.
God, what a bush. Holy fuck. Back to the show.
If you want to go on and explain some of the things you loved about the Goonies, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say this. I can't believe we're on episode 8. This is crazy. Like, this has been such a cool thing to do with Heather and that guy named Cole Bone that's always hanging out in the background losing his bat. And also, episode 10, I got something special planned. It's gonna, like today we had the Heather episode. Episode 10 is the Bobbit episode. Any guesses to what my movies are gonna be?
That's her without the black hair.
Holy fucking bush. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is that also her?
Mm-hmm.
Her boobs aren't as big as I thought they were.
It was a dress.
Good God, fucking Friday.
See, even here. It was all the dress.
Yeah, that's fine. I just...
So there we have it. I'm the good girlfriend. I let him look at nude pictures of other women. Does not bother me. Do you want to give any hints as to what episode 10 is going to be?
Yeah, episode 10 is gonna be the Bobbit episode.
Okay.
And like with Heather, I'll have 3 of my favorite movies of all time. Any guesses as to what they could be?
Well, Transformers.
Actually, no.
Okay. One of the Star Wars, Phantom.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the other two.
I'll go ahead and reveal it now.
Sure.
The other one, I watch this movie all the freaking time. Like, I love it. UHF. And the last one, Ghostbusters.
Okay.
If we don't save Ghostbusters for the Halloween episode.
That's entirely up to you. I mean, I know I saved my... Yes, Goonies is my #1 favorite, but my tied for #1 favorite, The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Again, another musical, but strictly a Halloween musical for you people. I'm saving that one for Halloween, that's for sure.
Alright, well, okay. Yeah, let's save Ghostbusters for Halloween. And I want to do Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Sure.
That's my favorite Harry Potter movie out of all of them.
I will try and dig through my memory and try to remember parts of the book that were not in the movie.
What's that?
Alrighty, I also have some of the knowledge from the video game too.
Right.
Because I played the shit out of that on GameCube.
I did not want that. Okay. So, with that being said, I think we're going to end the episode here, folks, because we've been talking for about an hour. Goblet of Fire was a good one. My favorite Harry Potter movie was actually The Deathly Hallows Part 1. Despite the fact that Dobby dies. Dobby. The house elf.
No,
Yes, I cried.
Why did Harry Potter call him Dobby?
Because it was his accent. His name is actually Dobby.
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 They're gonna be fun about this all night.
No, because once we're done with this, I'm just gonna find the video of it, and he's gonna get schooled.
Dobby.
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 Even though he died and I cried about it, it's still my favorite.
Dobby.
So, Dobby.
Dobby.
Dobby was a fucking movie company.
Dobby.
Anyway, folks. Yeah, Cody, that does not help considering you're typing, not speaking. Anyway, you guys have a great night. We shall see you Monday for...
Tell Trevor and add him to the call.
I'm pretty sure he heard you anyway, so... We will see you Monday for the Monday Night Raw live reaction. Toby is how you wash dishes. Anyway, we'll see you on Monday, folks. You have a great night, and please go head on over to Foul Mouse Network and catch Insomniacs for tonight, and later on you can catch us again actually on Derailed with Drew, Bobbit here, and quite a few others. And as Drew made the announcement, Coop the Comedian will be stopping in tonight. So you guys have a good night. Go check out Ken and them over there, and then check us out on Derailed afterwards. You guys have a great night.